The night they sold my death certificate, I was only 8. I still smell the gasoline on Mom's breath when she snarled at Dad. Keep Noah. I'm taking Harper. As for Lily, she'll vanish just fine. Vanish. I was hugging my rag doll, snot on my chin, but they talked over my head like I was furniture. Smash subscribe, like, and share, because the knife twist at the end will carve your heart out. Mom peeled away with Harper. Dad took Noah. I got a social worker's clipboard and a plastic bag for my clothes. No one waved goodbye. I kept asking the moon, what did I break that made me the leftover? Group homes became a carousel of mildew and curfews. Every holiday card from a real family felt like a slap. I swore on every bruised knee, never again will I audition for love. At 17, I was slinging coffee, stocking shelves, and coding apps between 3 a.m. alarms. They called me the ghost girl. They never noticed the fortune stacking in offshore accounts. 3 weeks ago, the phone vibrated like a hornet. Unknown number. Lily, it's Mom. The name scraped my throat raw. Harper's in a sinkhole. We need 50 grand by sunrise. Sunrise. After 12 years of radio silence, I let the quiet stretch until it squeaked. You said we? I finally answered. Define we. She launched the script. Bad crypto, loan sharks, foreclosure. Dad and Noah were also struggling. I didn't mention the 7-figure exit I'd closed last quarter. I just asked, where do I send flowers for the funeral you're planning? Clicked out. I chartered a red-eye to the zip code that still gave me hives. The reunion spot, a greasy spoon on the edge of town, neon flickering open like a lie. Mom's hair was bottle blonde regret. Dad's knuckles were nicotine yellow. Harper wore last season's influencer armor. Noah traced water rings, avoiding my face. Lily flower. Mom cooed, arms flapping like surrender flags. I slid into the booth. Flowers wilt in 12 years, Mom. Harper didn't wait for menus. Look, I'm not here for therapy. Wire the cash and we all pretend you're useful. Useful. I tasted metal. Useful like the cousin you told your followers I was adopted for clout? Dad's voice cracked like cheap leather. Blood repays blood. I laughed so hard the waitress flinched. Blood? You mean the kind you sold when you marked me deceased for a payout? The table froze. Harper's latte trembled. Mom whispered, that's ancient history. I wasn't done. I'd already bought Harper's failing NFT startup through a shell company at 4 a.m. I slid the acquisition docs across the Formica. Congratulations. Your logo now answers to the kid you buried on paper. Harper's pupils pinballed. You can't. Already did. Investors cash my check before continental breakfast. Dad lunged for the papers. I yanked them back. Touched them and I add assault to the fraud charges. Mom's mascara ran black rivers. We thought you'd never resurface, so you cashed a $300,000 missing child policy and bought a boat. I produced my phone, recording live, cloud-backed. Every confession now had a timestamp. Noah finally spoke, voice small. Lily, they kept the policy active. Renewed it last year. The air left my lungs. They weren't just graveyard robbers. They were running a long con on my pulse that I stood. 72 hours. Full restitution, signed affidavits. Or this audio hits FBI tip lines and every true crime podcast with a pulse. Harper lunged. You'll destroy us. I smiled. Glacier calm. You destroyed me at 8. I'm just returning the blueprint. I left them choking on grease and regret. 6 weeks later, the headlines detonated. Parents indicted. Fake daughter's death for decade of premiums. Assets liquidated. Passports shredded. I funneled every seized dollar into the resurrection grant, college funds for kids the system labels unadoptable. A reporter cornered me outside the courthouse. Why keep their surname? I looked straight into the lens. So every time they Google their shame, my face is the top result. I walked into the sunlight. No baggage, no ghosts. They voted me expendable. I voted myself unstoppable.